My story is not very uplifting, and I'm not one for sharing. Caring, I have learned there is value in that. Sharing, well, I have learned it just slows you down for the most part. So let's go over it briefly. My parents were quite well educated. They had a small collection of pre-war books, which was impressive considering they were just a couple of farmers living on the edge of the Mojave. They both knew a few things about history, and not just about the bombs and that great war, but even about the most ancient times and the Middle Ages. Never quite understood in the middle of what those ages were, but I sure liked those stories about knights and shining armor, fighting for a girl or slaying a dragon. My dad told me dragons weren't real. I never understood how he was so sure of that. I mean, death clothes are real. A sickness took both of my parents when I was in my teens, soon after the Legion came. And since I was familiar with ancient history, I thought it was a wild but interesting idea to build this new civilization around those ancient concepts. Well, I soon fell in love with a girl we imprisoned after one of our raids. I was all for the Legion's discipline and the idea we shouldn't rely on technology too much. I was not that much on board with how the guys in the Legion expected me to treat my Lucy. So I ran off with her one night, never to look back. The same night I apologized for, well, everything that happened and proposed to her. She was understandably skeptical. Nevertheless, the Legion was now hunting for both of us, and we needed to trust and rely on each other on our long journey east. One thing led to another, and at some point we promised each other some things. I was really happy for the rest of our wanderings. Happy is not a word I use lightly. We traveled a lot, moving from place to place. We would settle for a bit, and I would look for bounty jobs, make some caps, then we would move eastwards. We had a semi-nomadic lifestyle like that, and I couldn't provide much better since the only thing I know how to do is fighting. Well, and usually when you fight off some human scum in an area, things would calm down there for a while and then you are out of work. In one of my first mercenary jobs, I found a dead vault dweller with a Pip-Boy on his wrist. I took that thing, of course, despite my lack of interest in high-end technology. It was just too convenient. It's just too much to ignore, and I swear I'm not a hypocrite. We decided to travel to Commonwealth. Diamond City seemed like a place to stay for longer, but then the tragic part happened. She got sick a few days before we reached Commonwealth, where I hoped to make a small fortune for us. I had no idea about the whole institute thing yet. I was excited to see Diamond City and hoped for the best. My hopes were crushed by the cruel fate, so to say. She died. Not a long time before that, she told me she was pregnant. I reached an abandoned red rocket station, decided to stay there for a while and look around the surrounding area for some useful pre-war stuff. I spent quite a few weeks like that. Little did I know I was already making my first steps on a long and challenging road to, well, let's just say, a road to something better than crying and feeling sorry for yourself at a red rocket station. At any rate, I was alone and in desperation, but a tiny bit of a divine intervention happened. I met a stray dog, a friendly one, around the red rocket at the exact moment when I started pondering ending my life.
Okay then, let's stick together.
Yeah, see, I told you the story was depressing. Don't you worry, it gets better soon. It was that dog that led me to the nearby ruin of Concord. There was nothing to lose. May as well just follow the dog. It was there where I got to become a knight. Save some presumably innocent civilians from a band of raiders and even, confront a dragon.
Get some, motherfucker! You gotta fucking pay for that! You let go!
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minuteman.
God damn it. Glad to help.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
Please, go on.
A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5. First, it was the ghouls in Lexington, and now this mess.
Tough break.
You don't know the half of it.
That ain't it.
Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle. Those raiders proved us wrong. But,
Maybe.
well, we do have one idea. Sturgis, tell him.
There's a crashed vertibird up on the roof. Old school. Pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor.
There's something coming. And it's angry.
Ah, yes, a power armor suit. I always wanted one of those.
Up here. Boss! We got somebody up here!
See that?
Here you go. Why don't you get down here? Show me that fancy gun up here.
Okay, I'm coming.
Give that on, boys. I'll give you that. That's it.
Yeah, that confrontation with the dragon involved way more running, mainly in and out of a ruined church, than when Grognak fought a dragon. Come on, go down, die! It was not perfect, but I got a rusty set of armor and even a sword. Honestly, one of the raiders had a saber. Don't ask me how. Maybe there was a comic book convention in Boston somewhere just before the bombs. At any rate, a sword, a suit of armor, a faithful companion at my side. And most importantly, I actually survived and won, smiting its ruin on the rubble side. I felt alive again, and hell-bent on seeking more opportunities for heroism. I was pretty drunk on that stuff the night after I decided I need to paint my armor gold, make it all shiny. Yeah, maybe not my proudest moment, a little bit childish, a moment of excessive pride. The next day I took dog meat. Apparently that's my dog's name, according to an old crackhead lady. I saved her and the others from Concord.
Don't worry. I knew you'd join us here, kid. Your energy is tied to this place.
I hope the color of my energy is blue.
That's good. Humor is a good way to cope.
She believed there is some special destiny to me. Unfortunately, I believe chems are an abomination of humankind, so I ignored her remarks and told her to get some help. I detest chems. Cigs and booze are fine, though. I'm not a hypocrite, I swear.
Listen to me. I'm old, even older than you think. If the chems are gonna kill me, then I say I've had a good run. We'd have never made it this far without the site.
Isn't there any way you can use the site without chems?
Let me tell you a story, kid.
No, no thank you, I have my own story to tell. Then Preston Garvey, that guy who tried to protect the Concord group by leading them from one catastrophe to another, he was so impressed by my acts of knightly valor, he immediately decided I was the one to help him rebuild some sort of a Commonwealth Rangers guild LARPing as the Minutemen. In my highly enthused state of mind, the offer seemed tempting, of course, but there was already a vision formulating in my mind, a vision of a different role-playing game on the social scale, a much more colorful and shiny game.
And I hope you don't mind, but I've got another favor to ask. I've had word from a settlement asking for help. There's still hope and there are Minutemen out there somewhere. The only chance to start rebuilding the Minutemen is to show people that they can count on us when they need us. Trouble is, I've got my hands full here. Do you think you could go help out the settlement?
I can't help right now.
That's your call. I hope you change your mind.
You see, Caesar's Legion was a rather horrible bunch, but some of their ideas were, well, spot on, some of them. I asked myself, can I become like Caesar for normal people? A more knightly, protect the weak kind of guy, but still with, discipline, swords and javelins. That could be something to do, some great idea that may even be grand enough to keep me going. Hey, with that weird idea growing rapidly in my head, I had no interest in helping this Preston fellow with rebuilding his own lost empire. I had a better empire to rebuild, Roman Empire, maybe the Eastern one. They had Christianity and a lot of gold, and my dad spoke highly of that one. So I decided to strip the nearby ruins of the sanctuary of all possible junk, ammo, weapons, you name it. I also met a robot, a malfunctioning pre-war Mr. Handy who seemed convinced I was his pre-war master.
It's really you!
Who are you supposed to be?
Are you well, sir? Call me Codsworth, if you please.
I think you've mistaken me for someone else.
I never imagined our reunion to be quite like this. Please allow me to serve by your side. It's the least I can do.
No, not now.
All right, then.
This is honestly getting weird. Old Chemhead tells me I have some special destiny. A broken piece of junk claims I am some sort of a pre-war epic survivor. I swear I don't take any chems. They are an abomination. For now, I decided to set up a little base in my Red Rocket place and go to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth, Diamond City, where I hoped to find some mercenary work. A man like me has very few ways of making some caps quickly, and most of them involve putting some sharp objects in other people. At least, I am not wasting my talents. I don't know why I expected an uneventful journey. I am old and smart enough, I would say, to know uneventful is not an option in the wasteland. It's really more like I hoped for a boring journey, so I can get some time to think about my great empire or indulge in my delusions of grandeur, depending on whom you ask. But life itself decided to throw at me a few opportunities for my so-called valor to show. First there were these pathetic bullies, who for some reason thought their pipe guns were going to be enough to penetrate my power armor.
You stop waving that gun in my face, or it's gonna involve me.
That's it. You're dead.
Big mistake. It's over. For now.
They were dealt with. A single mother in distress was saved, and her idiot son got a chance to hopefully get off chems. Yeah, right, not gonna happen, I don't think. Then, further down my way, I entered Lexington, a place apparently infested by the undead. Oh, sorry, feral ghouls. Me and my pal Dogmeat cleared out as much of Lexington as we could, hacking, slashing, throwing javelins at those monsters. It was good, wholesome family fun that felt like my adolescent power fantasy coming true. Well, very terrifying and dark fantasy, but still. yuck. And there, as the sun was setting, a breakthrough happened. A fateful moment, a touch of destiny.
Reconnaissance Squad Gladius to any unit in transmission range. Authorization ARCS 095. Our unit has sustained casualties, and we're running low on supplies. We're requesting support or evac from our position at Cambridge Police Station.
I couldn't conceive it at the time, but a simple automated radio message my Pip-Boy picked up was about to shape my adventures and ambitions for quite some time. A nice female voice, apparently being a member of something called the Gladius Squad. Well, Gladius is an ancient Roman sword, and that word alone made me smile, thinking of my late father when his eyes sparkled when he talked of the Roman Empire and its great generals. Very much in theme of the past few weeks, the message was, of course, a distress call. And since I could already hear the gunshots, I ran towards the danger and decapitate some more ferals. Running towards gunfire will soon become a recurring theme of my biography.
For the Brotherhood! No mercy! Back to hell. Lock and load.
The police station, I was surprised to meet another guy in power armor, and after the deed was done, I wanted to have a chat with him. He wasn't about to trust me, and I wasn't sure I can trust him, so the conversation was a little bit awkward.
Before I answer, will you tell me who you are?
In due time. If you want to remain in our compound, I suggest you answer my question first.
During our heroic standoff with the Shamblers, he cried in Latin, and he had the Brotherhood of Steel symbols on him, yet he tried to pretend like he is not from the Brotherhood. Like, I've seen a few things. I won't be put off by Latin. I'm fine.
Don't really have a home.
An answer that I hear often. Whether it holds truth or not remains to be seen. If I appear suspicious, it's because our mission here has been difficult. Since the moment we arrived in the Commonwealth, we've been constantly under fire. If you want to continue pitching in, we could use an extra gun on our side.
At any rate, it seemed as though Paladin Dance and the Gladius team had got themselves in a real pickle. They had lost half of their manpower and allowed themselves to get surrounded without the means to contact the Brotherhood. Now, guess what? There was apparently a techno-MacGuffin in a nearby lab, a device allowing them to expand the range of their radio calls. And guess what? Paladin Dance, of course, thought I should help him to get that device.
We infiltrate the facility, secure the transmitter, and bring it back here.
At no point the topic of my payment came up, and it was a little bit annoying. Not that I wouldn't help a bunch of trapped soldiers for free, it just, politeness demands that you ask for the price, and I pretend to say no, and then you pretend to insist. Our days are truly barbaric. Again, someone wanted me to alter my own plans and ambitions for the sake of an unsuccessful organization. I begin to see another pattern here. Anyway, there were some longings in me for structure and discipline, probably rooted in my Legion days, so I hesitantly agreed to help. And we failed to save a bunch of traders from a bunch of raiders.
I don't think the intruder alarm.
And I almost killed Paladin Dance. Almost.
Firing.
Oh my god! Are you alright? Got cooked by those flames. But thanks to my power armor, I'm still in one piece. The important thing is that we're still alive.
We have a way to get to the transmitter.
So it was not all that fun, but still surprisingly easy considering the dangers. I actually had never seen a synth before. They are basically a guilt-free fun run of carnage.
You're in the control room. Open fire. Weapons cold.
No, that's the last of them. Damn it. I don't see the device anywhere. Fan out and check the synth remains. They may have been after the transmitter as well.
As pleasant as all that was, there was another utterly annoying pattern emerging. There was a safe, probably containing some valuable stuff and ammo that I was unable to open. I cannot be expected to learn such a precise manual skill in my clunky armor. That's just not gonna happen. If only there was someone I could recruit as a companion who could open locks for me.
Won't be able to pick this.
Abomination. Then I actually was presented with a reward, Dance's laser rifle, which I also got a laser musket from a dead Minuteman the day before. I really don't like energy weapons because they are, well, you guessed it.
Don't you need to keep it?
This isn't the only weapon at my disposal. Brotherhood soldiers always carry a backup. Now, as far as the second matter goes, I wanted to make you a proposal. We had a lot thrown at us back there. Our op could have ended in disaster. But you kept your cool and handled it like a soldier. There's no doubt in my mind that you've got what it takes. The way I see it, you've got a choice. You could spend the rest of your life wandering from place to place, trading an extra hand for a meager reward. Or you could join the Brotherhood of Steel and make
After a long and awkward pause, I accepted Dance's offer. I liked the fact they used the titles of knights and paladins. Of course I liked that. I liked the idea of clearing the Commonwealth from super mutants and ferals.
Alan, Reese, it's time to welcome our newest recruit to the recon team. He shows a lot of promise, and with the proper guidance, I think he has the potential of becoming one of the best.
Thanks. I promise not to let you down.
You don't have to prove anything else to me. Getting that transmitter was enough.
So you decided to stay, huh? I expected you to take your payment and run.
I don't have to prove anything to you.
Yeah, you do. You need to prove that you aren't gonna put a round in my back the minute I turn around.
Reese, that's enough. Like it or not, you're going to have to learn to work together. And you need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood. We're not soldiers of fortune. We're an army, and we've dedicated our lives to uphold a strict code of ethics. If you intend to stay within our ranks, you need to obey our tenets without question.
Are you gonna teach me this code of ethics?
If you were paying attention in ArcJet, you should have learned some of it already. I only ask for two things from anyone under my command: honesty and respect. You fall in line, you stay in line. I give you an order, and you follow it. It's as simple as that. Now, before I release you to Halen and Reese for your assignments, there's one last order of business. From this moment forward, I'm granting you the rank of Initiate. This is only a training rank. I'm not permitted to grant ranks any higher than that.
Fair enough.
Outstanding, soldier.
Ad Victoriam, Initiate.
He doesn't even know what that means, Halo.
Yes, I know what ad victoriam means. I do know that. Despite my self-deprecation, I am not a child. I expected to discover something absolutely disgusting in the Brotherhood's creed and their way of life at some point in the future, the same way Caesar's Legion turned out to be disgusting despite all that smart-ass talk about Hegelian dialectics and stuff. Those guys were also trying to speak Latin. I swear, if not for my dad, I would believe it's a made-up language for crazy people and buffoons. But I wanted to give it a go, and my more childish side was all giggly. Now there was also that girl, Helen, the scribe of the Gladius group. She gave me a task to perform, and off I went south to finally see Boston proper. It seemed like my visit to Diamond City was postponed, but that's fine. Paladin Dance told me I shouldn't really accept any mercenary work anymore anyway, so my main reason for going there was null. I could skip this little adventure. Nothing of note really happened, except I met some really dumb raiders. Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you over all the dying screams of your fellows.
Disappearing act. Huh? You always were a fucking hard ass. You're still alive, ain't ya? You should be thanking. What the hell is that? There you are, you little bastard!
Also on my way back, I found a nice little hidden valley, also full of raiders, slightly more competent this time, and as they fell to the ground I remember thinking this would be a nice place to set up a base. This is in Boston, near Diamond City, it seems from my map. What a nice start to my golden empire, my mostly peaceful and just empire, a place of true potential. Now both the Brotherhood Squad and Diamond City have to wait, because I need to set up here, build some beds, dig up a well, make a water pump, prepare this for inhabitants. I was sure I was going to invite some people to settle in here, not even for the empire, but I realized something while tinkering with my power armor later that day. I realized I needed to make tons and tons of glue if I wanted to create my dream suit of armor. Scavenging in the ruins just couldn't cut it. It wouldn't be enough. I needed a mudfruit, corn and tato farm. I needed a house for myself. I needed someone armed and ready to protect this place. Once more I got lost in a wild race of thoughts and ideas for the future, but as I was wandering the area the next day, some other thoughts started to surface, some darker, heavier thoughts. That enjoyment, that adrenaline rush I experienced when helping people in distress. I was grateful for the opportunity to do that, but there was something fake, as if that enthusiasm was forced upon me, like when you take chems or drink heavily to even be able to sleep. Something was abominable when everything should have been outstanding. After all, I thought, you, Bill, are fantasizing of building an empire. You rush towards the gunfire to show off your bravery and save people, but you couldn't save Lucy, one and only companion you needed and wanted, and should have saved. Yeah, I warned you there may be some sobbing in the story. That day, on my casual stroll of salvaging and ghoul slaying, I realized I could use a friend, someone to talk to. I had been alone for such a long time, weeks at least, if not months, and it felt like years. It began to take its toll. Dogmeat, bless his heart, is a wonderful dog, and he tries to cheer me up as much as he can, but I can't unleash all my existential doubt on him. So after a few days of exploration, looting and self-deprecation, I had some resources secured for Hangman's Valley. My painful realization worked out, I decided finally to head towards Diamond City. The Brotherhood just has to wait. But then imagine that, just as I was getting there, my Pip-Boy picked up another distress call from another group of people in dire danger.
This is an emergency broadcast. Our caravan's under attack by hostile robots and needs some serious help. We're just east of Watts Consumer Electronics.
I had to ask my dog what to do, and he seemed excited, so let's actually run north and see what an act of knightly valor we can perform today.
Thank you for assisting. I was certain to meet my end here as well.
Really? God, really? I asked for a friend, and you just put another talking machine in my way?
My name is Ada. This was the 3rd time we've been attacked by robots like these. Even with the weapon and detection upgrades Jackson gave me, I was unable to defend them.
Walking, talking proof of our decadence? This piece of ungodly junk. Okay, I am sending her to Hangman's Valley, but this mechanist situation, it will have to wait.
Another time.
Perhaps there's a place I may be of use until you return.
My plate is already quite full. Can I, for example, please finally reach Diamond City? Okay, so dropping some loot, some robots and some dark thoughts at Hangman's Valley. The next day, Diamond City and...
Ugh! You open this gate right now, Danny Sullivan. I live here. You can't just lock me out.
Why more complications, God?
What? Who are you?
Shh. Play along. What's that? You said you're a trader up from Quincy? You have enough supplies to keep the general store stocked for a whole month? You hear that, Danny? You gonna open the gate and let us in, or are you gonna be the one talking to crazy Myrna about losing out on all the supply?
Jeez, alright. No need to make it personal, Piper. Give me a minute.
Better head inside quick before old Danny catches on to the bluff.
You first.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Piper, who let you back inside? I told Sullivan to keep that gate shut. You devious, rabble-rousing slanderer. The level of dishonesty in that paper of yours. I'll have that printer scrapped for parts.
Ooh, that a statement, Mr. McDonough? Why don't we ask the newcomer? You support the news? Because the mayor's threatening to throw free speech in the dumpster.
Newspapers just like to stir up trouble.
Oh, I didn't mean to bring you into this argument, good sir. No. You look like Diamond City material. Welcome to the great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Safe, happy, a fine place to come. Spend your money, settle down.
This hasn't been the friendliest welcome.
He's got you there, McDonough. Guess not everyone gets won over by that shark smile of yours.
Now, was there anything particular you came to our city for?
Just looking to trade a little.
Oh, very well then.
Well, whatever you do, don't bother going to Diamond City Security for help.
Don't listen to her. Well, I'm afraid that our security team can't follow every case that comes through. I'm confident that you can find help here. Diamond City has every conceivable service known to man. One of our great citizens can surely find the time to help you.
Great. Thanks for nothing.
This is ridiculous. I want the truth, McDonough. What's the real reason security always shrivels away when talk of missing persons?
I've had enough of this, Piper. From now on, consider you and that little sister of yours on notice.
Yeah, keep talking, McDonough. That's all you're good for. A big Diamond City welcome from the mayor. You feel honored yet? Look, I gotta go get settled in, but, stop by my office later. I have an idea for an article you'd be perfect for.
Well, she seemed a little bit unstable. Maybe keeping her out of the city isn't that bad of an idea. And it looks like there is a problem with people going missing in this here town. Missing people the security force refuses to investigate. Why do I get the feeling I am going to be thrown right in the middle of that problem so very soon? But I can at least use some long-awaited comforts of a city here. I can barter, cook, buy some noodles, talk to people and finally socialize.
See this bar? I killed a man for it. No, I kid. He is dead though. Now let me know when you're ready to order.
I can sleep in a horribly dirty bed that quite literally makes me sick. Witness the police executing a guy in the middle of the market square.
He's a Sith! He'll kill us all! Kyle, no!
And then socialize with the police to learn it's all the fault of the media.
I need you to step away, Scabber.
I understand, officer. I just want to know what happened.
What, you didn't hear the shouting? Guy pulls a gun on his own brother, thinking he's a synth. It's that newspaper's fault. Got people all riled up, thinking their own family might be replaced by machines. Look, I'm sorry you got caught up in all this, but it's over, okay? Just go about your business like nothing happened. Better that way.
Well, reading that newspaper did lead me to a conclusion that it really might be their fault. Really, we all like noodles is how you started this article about missing people, the Institute conspiracy and a tragedy from years ago. Noodles, this is how you started. All the rhetorical questions too. Is it a newspaper or a school essay? Who wrote this crap? They shouldn't even be allowed to write an issue of Grognak the Barbarian. Who That was the first person I met here. Of course she wrote it. The people here don't need no newspaper, they gossip all the time anyway.
Sometimes you gotta wonder, does anyone fight back? Institute has to have enemies, right?
What? You mean the railroad? That's a fairy tale, man. They don't exist.
Nah, I heard from my cousin. He knows a guy that works for them. They got a code phrase and everything.
Excuse me.
You read the paper? Damn sense. Hiding among us.
Word of advice. Never call your mother a synth, unless she really is one. Yikes.
Despite being a mess at the time, I did feel a touch of compassion and pity. Such a troubled community. The mayor is a little bit of a buffoon, the local journalist is a little bit insane, people get replaced by synths, and one of the few, if not the only person who can help the people, Detective Nick Valentine, also disappeared lately. So after all the drinking and small talks, I went to the Valentine Detective Agency to offer my valorous help.
Another stray coming in from the rain. Afraid you're too late. Office is closed.
You the detective?
Me? No, I'm Nick's secretary. Handle his appointments, his papers, that sort of thing. Well, that's what I used to do anyway, but now Nick's disappeared and I can't keep a detective agency open without a detective.
Don't worry, I can help. Tell me what happened.
Nick was working a case. Skinny Malone's gang had kidnapped a young woman, and he tracked them down to their hideout in Park Street Station. There's an old vault down there that they use as a base. I told Nick he was walking into a trap, but he just smiled and walked out the door like he always does.
I'll find him. You have my word.
Thank you. Nick should be easy to spot. He's always wearing that old hat and trench coat getup. Please, hurry.
It looks like I have a gentleman in distress to save, my kind of job. Well, don't know if I am going to get paid. Should have asked, possibly. That future empire may need some caps, right? Anyway, the next day at dawn, I visited the local doctor, got deradiated and healed up, and walked out of the city towards my next adventure, which turned out to be slightly more challenging than expected.
Around and what does he do? Locks him up. Like he ain't got the balls to just kill him.
Well, don't let his new girl hear that. She'll start swinging that bat of hers at your face until there ain't no face left. People here! Okay, not bad. Oh, you pay for that, wise guy!
What a ride it was. Emotional ride of near-death situations. First I was surrounded and shot at with many automatics. I considered a retreat. I had to resort to some very unknightly tactics. I am not a hypocrite, by the way. Then I got enraged and charged at yet another group, like a madman. It turns out there is a pre-war vault here. At the bottom of that underground station, I half expected to find another vault within the vault, and then a mine inside that vault.
You waste! Try to give me this.
How you doing in there, Valentine? Feeling hungry? Want a snack?
Keep talking, meathead. It'll give Skinny Malone more time to think about how he's gonna bump you off.
Don't give me that crap, Valentine. You know nothing, you got nothing.
Really? I saw him writing your name down in that black book of his. Lousy, cheating card shark, I think were his exact words. Then he struck the name across 3 times.
3 strikes? In the black book? But I never...
What's that? Hey, you! I don't know who you are, but we got 3 minutes before they realize muscles for brains ain't coming back. Get this door open!
And then, no, God, no more talking machines.
Ah, my knight in shining armor. Question is, why does he come all this way? Risk life and limb? An old private eye.
Whoa. What are you?
Told you, I'm a detective. Look, I know the skin and the metal parts ain't comforting, but it's not important right now. The only thing that matters is why you went to all this trouble to cut me loose.
Seemed like you needed help.
Well, thanks. I've been cooped up in here for weeks. Turns out the runaway daughter I came here to find wasn't kidnapped. She's Skinny Malone's new flame. And she's got a mean streak. Anyway, you got troubles, and I'm glad to help. But now ain't the time. Let's blow this joint. Then we'll talk. We're playing hot.
Even break a sweat.
Not that it's an option. More stairs? Who built this damn vault? A fitness instructor?
Won't be able to pick this.
Cocks! Skinny Malone and the rest of his boys are waiting for us somewhere. The name's, ironic, but don't let that fool you. He's dangerous. Another locked door. Shouldn't be too hard. Okay, I got it. But I hear big fat footsteps on the other side. Once we step through this door, get ready for anything.
Come into my house? Shoot up my guys? You have any idea how much this is gonna set me back?
I wouldn't be here if it weren't for your two-timing dame, Skinny. You ought to tell her to write home more often.
Oh, poor little Valentine. Ashamed you got beat up by a girl?
Darla, I'm handling this. Skinny Malone's always got things under control.
Oh yeah? Then what's this guy doing here, huh? Valentine must have brought him here to rub us all out?
Darla, listen to me. You have a home to go back to. You don't want to throw your life away with these thugs.
Don't you try to confuse me! Get him, Skinny!
Well, I just wish Nick Valentine was a real boy, but, well, at least he's somewhat funny and witty.
Well, at least the case is closed.
Beggars can't be choosers, I guess. Maybe we can help each other later. Maybe we can help the people of Diamond City. Once I get my wounds patched up, drink the pain away and get some sleep. And maybe take some time to actually manage and improve my new home. I actually found 2 people willing to help me with Hangman's Alley.
You interested in coming to work for me? I have a good spot you can set up shop.
Of course.
This here Nuka addict doesn't know it yet, but he will soon become my comm officer.
Nuka-Cola!
Betty here will have a somewhat comfy bed and a fireplace and a steady job as a farmer, as a glue farmer of all things. It's nice to make a positive change for once, one that doesn't require risking and taking life. I tried to fix and improve my armor again, and of course I ran out of adhesive again. The problem was I was running out of good scavenging locations too. That farm needed to be built soon, but for that I needed to scavenge or buy some more resources so I can build a radio beacon so I can allure some settlers. I was not that eager to go on another near-death mission this week. Nearly dying for a few days straight can be rather tiresome. I even rejected a mercenary job offer. Some weirdo ghoul approached me in a bar.
I'm always looking for people who know how to handle themselves in dangerous situations.
Leave me alone.
Nothing worth talking about. Anyway, so, I asked an officer in Diamond City if maybe there are some easier pickings around, and he pointed me to a place called Combat Zone. A theater for the raiders, or so I then understood. Sounded silly and also manageable, so I just charged head-on, defeated the guards outside with ease. I rushed inside and stopped for a second to watch a rather interesting red-headed girl fighting men in a cage.
And who's this? Come on down where we can see ya. Come on, I don't fight. Well, not usually.
I thought I could solve this one peacefully, but nah, this is Commonwealth, where you cannot move an inch outside of your house without getting shot at from multiple directions.
Rip him to shreds! Oh, shit! Open fire!
Always do better that way.
Covering fire!
You're a regular.
You think they're done out there?
We don't want any trouble. Not anymore, at least.
Oh, just peek your head up, you damn coward.
To heck with that. I'm too pretty to go out like this.
It all went really well. For a second there, I wondered if that redhead was, impressed. Maybe not much. She seemed quite combat ready herself, but you know how it is, A nice girl watching.
Why don't you come over here? Show us you don't mean no harm.
And then it turned out the fate or God had decided to cross our paths. It was a godsend, the redhead.
I guess that could have gone worse.
I dunno. Seemed quite the performance from where I was standing.
Are you fucking high or something? Why am I asking? Of course you are.
Still won the fight, didn't I?
You're strung out and getting sloppy, is what you are. Boss, I suppose you ain't gotta worry about that now. Seems this one just put us out of business. I'm not sure if I should kiss you or have my little bird here feed you your own entrails.
I told you to quit calling me that.
I saved your lives. You should be grateful.
Grateful? For killing our meal ticket. Excuse me if I don't rush to embrace our savior. They weren't the friendliest bunch, but keeping those idiots entertained at least kept the lights on.
To hell with them. More'll come. Just need a quick breather and I'll be ready to go.
Oh, breather? What? So you can slam more of that junk into your arm now? No, you know what? I think this was a blessing in disguise. You caught the end of that bout. What'd you think of Kate's work?
She's clearly talented.
See? At least someone knows skill when they see it.
It ain't your fighting skills I'm concerned with. So here's my predicament. I suddenly got no audience. No audience means I got no caps coming in. And if you ain't bringing in caps, little bird, you ain't an asset. You're a liability to me and to yourself. So, here's what I'm thinking. What say I let you take over her contract? She goes with you, watches your back. Look, you'd be doing me a favor while I try to get the place back in order. What do you say?
Me? And him?
What the hell is wrong with me and you?
I'd like to know what Kate thinks.
Don't I get a say in all this?
That ain't how a contract works. Besides, you really want to stay here? No audience, no caps, no one to talk to, but yours truly.
Jesus. Point taken.
Atta girl. So, she's on board. Now what about you?
Sure. I could use someone watching my back.
Good. It's settled then. And here, take this. It's the purse from the last fight.
So, she knows how to fight. She needs to leave this place and find something to do, which I can happily provide for her, and she can open goddamn locks for me. Suddenly, the anger and frustration of those last few days seems so far away and fading.
Hey, Kate.
So, you're ready to head out?
That depends. How are you feeling?
I dunno. Feeling kinda useless sitting here with me thumb up me arse. So, are you ready to get this show on the road?
Ready.
About time I got out of this place. Let's go. Don't look at me that way, you dirty little mole rat.
We have so much to do together. We need to investigate the missing people in Diamond City, and we need to build a proper golden empire, and, well, this may be as well the start of a great friendship.